Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Mystic Destinies. Okay, so we're just gonna hop in right where we left off. It's been a few days since my episode in the bathroom. Luckily, there hasn't been a repeat performance so far. I ended up signing up for one more class on Wednesday, Introduction to the Unseen. It's helped me a little in learning more about this new world I've been thrown into. My new reality is finally starting to sink in. Still, at times, it's hard to believe all of this is really real. Though, to be honest, the only real noticeable difference is the change in my eye color. I did try to get some brown contact lenses to hide my new green eye, but that was a complete failure. Somehow, I managed to go through a dozen colored contact lenses, and every single one of them turned from brown to green within seconds of being put in. But considering how crazy things were at first, this contacts thing is no big deal. At least no one has been rude enough to say anything about it. Yet. I haven't really seen the boys from the business club since that whole explosion thing in Professor Kazama's class. I don't know what my bird's doing. It's being weird. I wonder what they think of me after that. I reach the door marked 129 and hear voices coming from inside. It'll be fine. I think if anyone would be tolerant of strangeness, it's them. Yeah, they've probably seen a lot weirder things anyway. I push the door open. When I walk in, I immediately met with now familiar faces. Shinji is napping in the armchair. An open book is resting on his chest. It looks like he fell asleep reading something. Tatsuya is standing next to the bookshelves, looking like he's trying to set fire to the books with his eyes. I can't help but wonder if he might actually be trying to do just that. I wonder if he has any power, though that might be rude to ask. And Sho is sitting on the couch, his eyes carefully scanning what seems to be a script. None of them notice me come in. As I'm awkwardly standing in the doorway, Tatsuya suddenly turns to Shinji. Hey, slacker, where'd you put that book on statistics? Shinji's eyes snap open. He looks at Tatsuya with a smile. Oh, so he wasn't sleeping. A book is missing, so you immediately assume it's me. Really, Tatsu, you should know better than to jump to conclusions without any proof. Well, who else would take it? And I told you to stop calling me that. Guys, don't start this again. I can't believe you even pulled this stuff in here. I step further into the room and clear my throat. All three of them instinctively divert their attention to me. Oh, hey, Inara, sparkles the unicorn. Hey, I'm not late, am I? No, you're early. We still have 20 minutes before the scheduled start. Yes, and with Tatsu in charge, we always have to start exactly on time. You... Guys, come on, not again. Yeah, all right. Fine, I have better things to do anyway. Tatsuya grabs a book off one of the shelves and sits down at the table to read. Shinji closes his eyes again and goes back to looking like he's asleep. Sho looks at me and pats the spot next to him. Might as well sit, sparkles the unicorn. We won't start the club meeting until the official time. I sit down on the sofa next to Sho. He goes right back to reading his script. It's a little awkward sitting here on the couch with him, even if it is a comfortable silence. Well, comfortable on his part anyway. Sho has been texting me every day asking me if I'm alright, if I need anything and the like. But this is the first time I've seen him since he walked me home that night. Honestly, I'm starting to think that the professor was overreacting. Right now, it just feels like I'm wasting Sho's time. With nothing else to do, I look around the room, but everything is exactly the same as it was the last time I was here. The occasional sound of turning pages is the only sound in the entire room. What do I do? Should I just go get a drink and come back on time or something? It's then I realize that I should check my messages since my phone's been off all day. I pull out my phone in my pocket and turn it on. It immediately begins vibrating like crazy over and over again. 5 new messages. I quickly scroll through them and see that they're all from my dad. Hey, sweetie, I just got back from Budapest a few hours ago. I'm sorry I missed the chance to see you off for your first day of university. I brought back some souvenirs. There's something for you, but it's a surprise. I'll give it to you next time you're home. Let me know. Can we scroll through the message? Oh, shit. Oops, can we go back? Crap, hold on. Back. Oh, never mind. Damn it. Crap, I wanted to go... Can we go back again? Back. I want to go back. Damn it. Have you seen your mother? I tried calling her, but her phone... Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on. There we go. I didn't get... I scrolled and I got back. I figured it out. I'm dumb. Anyway, let me know when you have some free time. I'll send a car for you. We can have a nice family meal together. Have you seen your mother? I tried calling her, but her phone seems to be off. Kaio says she hasn't seen your mother since she went to meet you. Did she tell you where she was going after meeting you? She hasn't sent any emails to me. I'm worried. Let me know if she told you anything as soon as you can. I feel like a bucket of ice cold water was suddenly poured over me. A heavy weight settles in my stomach. I think I'm going to be sick. I can't stop my hands from trembling. My phone falls from my hands and hits the floor. Startled by the sound, the guys snap their heads up and look at me. Sparkles the unicorn? I sit there unable to say anything. My whole body is shaking. I don't know how I could forget. No, I knew. Of course I knew. I just didn't want to think about it. Didn't want to remember. Not again. Never again. But the memories of that night under the moon are flooding back into my mind once more. No, not here. Not again. I can't stop it. The memories I tried my best to ignore are coming back in flashes again. My head is throbbing painfully. How will I ever tell Dad what that woman did? Would he even believe me? Does he know the truth? My thoughts jumble together in one incoherent mess. All I can imagine is how horrified my dad will be if I tell him the truth. And if I don't, he'll still think something's wrong, that she's been kidnapped or killed. I can hear distant voices calling out to me, but the ringing in my ears is getting worse. I need air. I get up, my feet unsteady, and I try to walk to the door. I can hear someone calling out to me, but the ringing in my ears is making everything jumbled. Hey, Inara, what's wrong? I can't even tell who's talking to me. A sharp pain suddenly pierces through my skull. Ah! I'm not really good at dramatic voices, but anyway. I grab my head in a desperate attempt to stop everything. My body is starting to feel hot. A bright light forms around me. I screw my eyes shut, hoping that somehow it will all stop, but they're forced open. No, not again! Inara! Hearing the desperate tone in Sho's voice, I open my eyes. He moves closer to me, only to be viciously flung back into the wall. Sorry. I can't even get the words out. Sho! Shinji immediately runs to help Sho up. I can't stop it. I can't do anything. My body is frozen in place as a green mist-like flames surround me. They swirl and wildly dance around me. The three of them stand in front of me, just out of reach of the flames. This is bad, really bad. If we don't stop her, she might blow up half the school. This is kind of fun. If we're lucky, that is. We could freeze her. That should stop the meltdown without harming her too much. I wonder if he's got, like, ice powers, and that's why he's, like, blue. And, like, you know, Sho's got fire powers, and that's why he's, like, orange. Color coordinating their powers. We're not freezing her. You have no idea what that would actually do. It's all I can do to contain myself while they argue. He's right. Her magic is wild. There's no telling how it would react if we even attempted to freeze her. Well, then you suggest something before we're all dead. He turns to Sho. I thought you were supposed to watch her. I told Professor Kazama I would do a better job. Clearly I was right. Your incompetence is about to get us all killed. Maybe you should stop arguing about it and try to save her and stop it. That's enough, Tatsu. Blaming others won't get us anywhere. We need... Oh. Something behind me draws their attention. I can't move to see, but then I feel a slight sting in the back of my shoulder. Almost immediately, I begin to feel sleepy. My body relaxes all on its own, and the flames go out as if they were never present. As I fall, I'm caught in someone's arms. I look up to see the smiling face of Takumi. I got you now, don't worry. My vision starts to go dark. We choose a path with a guy, but it's like they're all, like, falling all over themselves. You know, wouldn't it just be nice to, like, walk into a room and have, like, 5, like, attractive guys just fall all over themselves? No, I'll help you. Oh, my God. Where are these 5 guys who are just going to fall all over themselves? Like, that doesn't happen. That must be horrible. Oh, wait, what? My vision starts to go dark. I can hear the sound of rushed footsteps coming closer. Thanks for that, Takumi. I can take her now. She's my responsibility. Well, okay. My body suddenly feels like it's floating. Someone feels warm. So warm and relaxing. I start to give in to the gentle warmth. All my worries seem to float away. I'm wondering if the story is exactly the same if you go down a different path. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's pretty much the same, but it's different guys doing different things, saying different things. You know what I mean? I wonder how it works out. Oh, I'll figure it out. All the bad feelings I had start to disappear when faced with this comforting feeling. So were you going to tell me what the hell that was about? That's the last thing I hear before my consciousness finally slips away and I pass out. Oh, cool. Each chapter's not too long. That's awesome. I just don't want them to be like, oh, we just played for 3 hours and we're only in chapter 1. Like, so we've gotten through, we're on the third part, right? Yes. And we've gotten through chapter 1 in basically one part. So, pretty cool. I open my eyes, staring at a strange view for the third time in the past week. This looks sort of familiar, though. I lie still on what seems to be a cot and calmly try to assess my surroundings. It's then I realize I've been hearing two equally familiar voices. Look, I know everything. I already did before, but now I can prove it. You can't honestly expect that I'm just going to forget what I saw, Professor K. I hear a heavy sigh and turn my head to see Takumi talking to Hikaru. No, not with you, Takumi. It'd be a hell of a lot easier on me if you did, though. Inara, you're awake. I turned my head toward Sho's voice, who was apparently sitting on the other side of me the whole time. How do you feel? Before I can respond, Takumi and Hikaru's conversation stops. They both walk over to me. Are you okay? And I guess that's because Takumi is just a normal person but likes the magical world, so. Yeah. I try to sit up and both Sho and Takumi rush to help me up. I hold a hand up and they stop before touching me. I sit up on my own. I'm not really the damsel in distress type. I can at least sit up by myself. Oh, sorry. Feisty as ever, I see. I swing my legs over the side of the bed and try to recall what happened to put me in this position. At distinctly remembering slamming a certain someone against the wall, I gasp and look at Sho. Oh my god, Sho, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Huh? For what? Oh, that's okay. It wasn't your fault. Besides, I'm tougher than that. So tough you were practically in tears when Inara was unconscious? Not cool, Taku. Am I wrong then? Wasn't it from the pain of being slammed against the wall, or could it be from something else? They all lurve me. Sparkles the unicorn. That's enough, Takumi. Sho, take Sparkles the unicorn home and talk to her about what we've discussed. Takumi, let's continue our discussion at my desk. Can I change? I wonder if I can. Can I change the settings? No, I can't. I want to change my name. Log. No. I can't. Damn it, I want to change my name to Sparkles the Unicorn. Well, I can say, and Anara's fine, but anytime they say her last name, we're going to say Sparkles the Unicorn. I hope you feel better. Hikaru turns on his heel and walks back over to his desk. Takumi, looking exactly like a child that's just been scolded, glances back at Sho. Sorry, Sho. Hope you feel better, Sparkles the Unicorn. Takumi runs off to catch up with the professor, leaving Sho and I alone. It's really late, so we'd better get going. We're once again walking down the street to my apartment, but this time it feels like we're both in our own worlds. My parents' situation weighs heavily on my mind, and I feel incredibly helpless. I glance at Sho. He seems bummed out about something, too. I decide to break the silence. We're making a habit out of this, huh? Huh? The whole me blowing up, passing out, and having you walk me home after thing? Yeah, I guess we are. We walk along the darkened street in silence for a while. Then I decide to try and start up a conversation again. I'm sorry. We stop and stare at each other. A few moments pass before we burst into laughter. You know, where I went to high school, you'd owe me a soda right now for that. Really, huh? Really, huh? I guess I'll have to buy you one sometime. You could tell me about your high school then, too. Sounds good. But what were you apologizing for? I'm the one who should be sorry. I hurt you. It's just, I totally failed you. I'm supposed to be helping you so that doesn't happen. But I was sitting right there and I couldn't do anything to help. I think Tatsuya's right. You should have picked someone else. That's not your fault, Sho. It was just... I paused, wondering how the hell to explain my family situation. I got a text message that really upset me. No one would have predicted that. And besides, Tatsuya and Shinji couldn't help either. Well, I guess that's true, too. Actually, how did you guys stop me? It was Takumi. He had to use a tranquilizer dart just to get close to you. I'm sorry you got hurt. The hell was he carrying a tranquilizer dart for anyway? I instinctively touched the shoulder where I'd felt the sharp but brief pain. So, is Takumi just a human then? Yeah, and he was still the only one who could help you. Seeing as how pained show looks, I stifled my curiosity about Takumi and put on a smile. You were there to take care of me as soon as you could. And you were there when I woke up. And it was very comforting. So thanks. Oh, well, good. I'm glad I could be helpful in some way. Oh, I almost forgot. Shinji apologized about having to leave before you woke up. He and Tetsuya both had work. And Professor K said you had to start taking supplementary classes. So you're already signed up for some classes starting tomorrow. Oh, alright then. It's pretty sudden, but I guess considering what happened, I shouldn't be surprised. We arrive at my apartment just then, and Sho looks at me. It's pretty late, so I've got to get going. But thanks for everything you said. I'll text you later, okay? Okay, thanks for walking me home. With a single wave, Sho jogs off into the night. You should have invited him home. Second date. No, I'm just kidding. 3-date rule. I'm kidding. It's like the 3-month rule. I walk into my apartment feeling much more positive than I did this afternoon. I'm not serious about that either. I will never be serious about anything. It's the next morning. I'm staring bleary-eyed at an email that completely changes my plans for today. Normally, I only have one early afternoon class, but now... Control and focus, theoretical magical studies, practical magic application. It's so funny that Hagawara University has these magical classes inside normal classes. Ugh. I shoved my face into my pillow and let out all of my frustrations into it. I usually love school, but come on, even I need a break. I lift my head up and glare at nothing. Yeah, I need a break from work, but you know what? That's what vacation's for. Next weekend is a 3-day weekend. Or actually, this weekend coming up, because by the time this post, this is like going to go up on Saturday? Oh, this is a 3-day weekend. Woo! This goes up on Friday or Saturday. I'm not really sure. Thanks a freaking lot, Professor K. As frustrated as I am, I know that I need these classes too. I couldn't even get to sleep for hours last night. I was so scared. I sigh and push myself up. Actually, sleeping would probably be the best, because then you'd be zonked out and you'd never know. You know what I'm saying? I kind of lost my train of thought because I was spacing out for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, being asleep, I wouldn't have to worry about controlling my powers. I'd be asleep. I reread the email and notice that there's a class called Practical Magic Application. It's with Professor Kazama. A vivid flashback of Hikaru throwing a sphere of light at me fills my mind, and a creeping sense of dread crawls up my spine. Oh god, he wouldn't, would he? Now I know that Hikaru was never trying to hurt me, only trigger my power. But would he do that again? What if I can't do anything and he has to, and then The memory of hanging suspended as my powers ran wild, flinging Sho aside like it was nothing. It's all I can see. When I think of that, I get so terrified that I feel like I'm going to start panicking all over again. No, that would be completely counterproductive. I just need to calm down and try to figure out how to control these powers in the first place. That gives me an idea. I slowly, shakily hold a hand out, like I saw Hikaru do before I inhale. No, control. I need to be calm or else. No. Just focus on what you're trying to do. I hold my hand out. After a few moments, I realize I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I'll just have to do my best to figure it out while I'm there, just like the rest of us, like holding our hands, like willing the force, willing that remote to come to my hand without me getting up. It doesn't work. The only magic we have is getting our bodies to move. Can't get other things to move. It's unfortunate. Hikaru will be a lot more careful now, I'm sure. I think anyway. I sigh heavily and get out of bed. It's late afternoon. I trudge along the mostly empty basement, not at all looking forward to my next class, Practical Magic Application. I managed to learn a bit in control and focus, mostly because it's still the beginning of the year. Everything was focused on just breathing correctly, but I still couldn't summon anything. Theoretical magical studies was definitely way over my head, but it did at least give me some good information about magical limits. Apparently, everyone is born with a certain amount of potential. I wonder what mine is. Mine is not any. I am the anti-potential. But now I've got to be clueless in yet another class. I grit my teeth. I'm not the type to have no idea what's going on in class. I work very hard so I don't have to feel that way. But here it's like I'm totally out of my element. Hey, Inara. I looked toward the voice on my side, completely startled out of my thoughts. What's up? What? Why are you here? I thought you weren't, I try not to think of how to say it and make vaguely magical hand motion. Takumi laughs. Really? You think so? Could I pass for something not human? I looked Takumi over carefully. Maybe like a werewolf or something? Well, yeah. Plus there was the thing yesterday. Oh, right. That. Sorry about that. I really didn't want to hurt you. No, it's okay. I'm really glad you were able to stop me before anything happened. So as for why I'm here, I managed to convince the administration to let me attend classes normally only supernatural students would attend. Professor K helped me out a lot with that. I think back to how frustrated Hikaru looked yesterday. Hikaru seems like he wouldn't be the type to be pushed around easily. But why does Takumi want to sit in anyway? A thought strikes me then, as I remember that he randomly had a tranquilizer dart on him. Maybe Takumi is actually kind of scary. We stop in front of the classroom I was headed to, and Takumi pushes open the door for me. I'm being allowed to sit in today while they get me all officially set up. Since we're both new, want to sit together? Sure. I walk past him into the classroom and he follows me. As we walk up the steps, I notice that there's a very different view than the first time I was in Professor Kazama's class. Is that all done by magic? Will I be able to do something like that one day? That'd be awesome. I see someone in orange waving to me enthusiastically. I'm confused to see him in what I thought was a beginner's class, but I decide not to ask for now. Hey guys, what's up? Hey man. Takumi sits next to Sho and gestures for me to sit on the other side of him. Sho leans over to look at me. How are you feeling? Hi, I should be the girl in the middle of the man sandwich, thank you very much. Pretty good, thanks. I nervously wait for Sho to mention what happened yesterday, but he never does. Professor Kazama walks in then, and after putting his things away, begins the lecture. I hope everyone's doing well. He looks like he's like 25. Today we're going to continue the subject of elemental magic. I open my laptop and prepare to take notes. Elemental magic is one form of magic that's powered and drawn from the elements of the earth itself. There have been cases of people with especially powerful auras utilizing elements outside of the earth. But since this is a remedial class, we won't be covering that. There are many elements magic users can wield in a variety of different ways. Since we talked about hydrokinesis last week, today we'll be talking about its other form, cryokinesis, commonly referred to as ice. During the lecture, Hikaru goes over what cryokinesis is and some of the purposes it can be used for. Towards the end of the lecture, I could swear I can hear faint voices coming from outside the door. Ice can even be an effective weapon in battle, and one of the largest families of half-dragons has utilized it this way for centuries. Yakamura Hirayama, will you come in? We all look to the door that opens, and in walk the two men as if they'd just been waiting outside. Murmurs spread through the classroom. He's a dragon. Oh, cool! Is he? Are they both dragons? Sho leans over and glances at Takumi and I before whispering. I bet you anything those two have been arguing again. I know, it's hilarious. I wonder what they're even here for, though. Hikaru continues, ignoring our whispers. Shinji and Tatsuya are from my advanced class, but they agreed to do a demonstration for us here today. Tatsuya? Oh, Tatsuya. Tatsuya steps forward and grabs his left forearm near his elbow with his right hand. Okay. He closes his eyes for just a moment before running his hand over his arm. I hear a faint crackling sound from where I sit on the edge of my seat. I don't realize what he's done at first until I see the falling mist from his arm. I quickly examine him and see Tatsuya covered his left arm with sparkling ice. There's also a blade that juts far past his fist that looks razor sharp. I can't help it when a gasp escapes my mouth. This is one example of cryokinesis applied for use in battle. Tatsuya has effectively covered his arm in incredibly hard ice to act both as armor and as a weapon. Before we move on to the next demonstration, does anyone have any questions? Still amazed at the sight before me, I raise my hand. Yes, Sparkles the unicorn. I really wish I could change her name. From what I understood, this is the most peaceful period of time there's been so far. Why would a supernatural being need to learn to fight? There are whispers throughout the class following my question. Takumi starts whispering to me. Looks like you've just outed yourself as being a complete newbie. What? How? It's true that monsters no longer freely roam the land, and supernaturals have opted to hide themselves as much as possible in today's world. But the fact is that there are still plenty of reasons to learn to use your powers to defend yourself. From barroom brawls to supernatural wars, supernaturals are still people and they're always going to have disputes. Hikaru sighs and suddenly looks very tired. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. So that's why you're here. To help you gain mastery of your power so you could defend yourself. I'm taken aback by Hikaru's speech. I sense I've struck a nerve and I feel like an idiot for asking such obvious questions. I'm feeling completely embarrassed when I feel a warm hand on mine. I look up and see that Sho's reaching over to Kumi. Don't worry about it. Professor K's known for getting a little emotional sometimes. And he knows you don't know about this stuff. Thanks. Can you guys maybe not do that kind of stuff right now? And pay attention to the lecture? Shinji's about to do something super cool. Sorry. We quickly drop each other's hands, and I turn my attention back towards Shinji. So it's okay if I do a combat demonstration then? Of course. We'll be doing combat later here too. Just don't get carried away. Perish the thought, Professor K. I'd never do anything dangerous to my buddy Tatsu. Shinji raises both of his hands in front of his torso, as if he were holding something that we couldn't see. I hear a different sort of crackling this time, and the air on Shinji's hand starts to shimmer and distort. I swear, Shinji, if you... Don't move! Suddenly I see white flashes of something leap between Shinji's hands. Almost at the same time I realize what I'm seeing, he pushes out both hands towards Tatsuya's ice-covered arm. The electricity arcs from his hands to the ice. Almost immediately, the ice begins to melt and turn into a white mist. Everyone in the classroom seems to gasp at once. Hikaru even seems a little surprised, but he turns to face the class with an awkward smile. Okay, so that was one way of disabling an opponent using ice. If you happen to be lucky enough to be an electrokinetic, I think that was a nice conclusion to our lecture, so we're done for the day. I'm only snapped out of my daze by Sho putting a hand on my shoulder. Come on, I'll walk you home. Hey, what about me? Can I come? Sho looks at me questioningly, and I nod and grab my bag. It's not far, and I'm feeling fine, but sure. Tatsuya and Shinji almost immediately start to argue, but then they both have the class together before we can catch up to them. Oh, they both leave the class together. She's like the only girl on a school full of dudes. I mean, Jesus Christ. I wonder why they're all staring at her. You're a girl! In the hallway, all I hear people talking about was how cool the demonstrations were. Takumi, beside me, literally hasn't stopped talking since I told him he could come and is excitedly bouncing along. Did you guys see that? I didn't even know Shinji could do that. It was so inventive, too. I would have never thought to do that. Man, I wish I'd paid better attention in physics. I glance over at Sho, who has been quiet since the class ended. I want to ask Sho what's wrong, but it's kind of hard to have a serious conversation with Takumi skipping right in between us. I think if I look hard enough, I can see actual stars in Takumi's eyes. So I'm kind of questioning, why he would be the one to, help us control our power when he's just a normal person. But I guess it's because he can trank us. That sounds really awkward. Aw, damn it, but Tatsuya might come home in a bad mood because of that. But still, it was so cool. I wish I could do awesome stuff like you guys can. Want to have magic powers. Don't we all? Yeah, they're pretty great when you're good with them. Sho mumbles this under his breath while Takumi continues talking. But I heard him. I'm gonna go see if I can catch up with Shinji and Tatsuya so I can ask them more. Come on, Anara! Before I can say anything, I'm dragged off by Takumi with Sho running to keep up with us. Shinji has brought us to a little park just outside the campus. We managed to catch up with them, but Takumi has so many questions that we decided to hang out a little longer. I figured I should hear the answers anyway, so I didn't mind. After a quick trip to the restroom, I'm now sitting on a bench with Sho while Takumi shoots rapid-fire questions. So, Shinji, are you a lighting mage or what? I can handle all the elements to varying degrees. Wow, that's amazing! So you're probably the most powerful one here, right? I glance over at Sho, who's sitting next to me. I don't know him well enough to say he's not acting like himself, but I feel like he's been unusually quiet. Yeah, right. You want to see power? let's have a proper demonstration. Ice versus ice. No thanks, I'm not stupid. He turns to Takumi, ignoring Tetsuya's smug grin. It's true that most people can only utilize one element, but being able to use more than one doesn't mean much when it comes to raw power. In fact, 9 times out of 10, if they're using the same element, a specialist will beat someone who can use more than one. Well, yeah, because you have like all of the strength versus spread out. You catching this, Inara? I snap out of staring at Sho. What? Oh, yeah. It makes sense. After all, mastery of a subject usually takes intense focus and years. I trail off and my eyes drift to Sho. And years of practice. Yeah, you got it. They're just sad I didn't pick them. I noticed that Tatsuya and Shinji had become strangely silent. I glanced at Takumi, surprised he stopped talking for more than a moment. Okay, clearly there's something no one is talking about here, and it has to do with Sho's powers. Unable to bear the stretching silence much longer, I reach for my bag to distract myself with my phone. But it's not there. I look down under the bench from left to right. Didn't I bring it? I know I had it when I left class. The guys immediately pick up on my distress. What's up, Inara? Sparkles the unicorn. Are you looking for something? I nod and get up for the bench, looking all around as I speak. I'm just looking for my bag. I'm absolutely sure I brought it with me from Professor Kazama's class. I remember you having it too because you checked your phone as soon as we walked outside. I have to admit that I thought Takumi was far too busy paying attention to anything. I make a mental note to revise my growing assumption that he was a kind of an airhead. But you probably put it down for a moment, didn't you, when you used the restroom? Maybe for like 1 minute when I... Oh, I'll be right back. I immediately dash off to the park's restrooms. As soon as I get in, I spot my bag in a spot I never would have left it. The sink. I cautiously look around the bathroom before walking up to the sink and grabbing it. When I walk back outside, Sho is waiting near the bathroom's entrance for me. Oh good, you found it. Losing your stuff would have been a pain for sure. Takumi and the others walk up to us. Have you checked the bag? Huh? Oh no, but it's a good idea. I rummage through the bag, checking that my laptop, notebook, and wallet are inside. Everything appears to be there, but everything's been all mixed up. Even though nothing's missing, someone definitely gone through my bag. But why would someone go through your things? Do you have any enemies, Inara? What? No, why would I? Oh yeah, my mom. But when I think through the reasons I could be targeted, only one comes to mind. I am Inara Shinamura. I thought it was Fujimoto. I'm not Sparkles the Unicorn? Daughter of Sparkles the Unicorn's Industries CEO. I don't pretend to know everything my father does, but he's bound to have some people who would want to use me to get at him. I can't tell these guys that, though, nor can I get them involved in anything dangerous because of who I am. Inara, are you absolutely sure? Anything could help. This whole thing might be nothing, but... No, I can't think of any reason why anyone would target me. Honestly, it could have just been a thief that got scared off by someone coming in or something. Yeah, that's probably it. There's no need to scare Inara with your theories, Takumi. Occam's razor, huh? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. In plainer words, this most simple solution is the most likely. There's probably nothing to worry about, Inara. Takumi doesn't look convinced in the least, and I turn around so I don't have to face him. Sho peeks at me, though, his face right in front of mine. Come on, why don't I walk you home? Alright, thanks. We'll see you later, guys. We wave goodbye and go our separate ways, though Takumi's enthusiasm was noticeably curbed. I glanced at Sho beside me and wonder if he somehow sensed how uncomfortable I was. He did get me out of there pretty quick. Could he know I'm hiding something? But Sho looks at me with a smile so bright that I reflexively smile back. He seems content to walk in silence, too. That's right, Sho's hiding something, too. I guess even people like him have their demons. Perfect timing! I knew we were going a little over, but I kind of wanted to at least wait till we get to the next part, so. Anyway, can I save that? Yes. I don't know why it always shows up black instead of, like, something else, but anyway. So I am going to wrap this up here. I will see you guys next time. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm actually having kind of fun. This is interesting. It's not bad. It goes pretty fast, so that's good. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.